Can AI solve the Jack the Ripper case? Recently, podcasters, shady news outlets like the New York Post and News Nation have begun to ask if AI could solve the murders. In December, this thread was started on the Casebook forums to ask, hey, if you understand AI, can this actually be applied to the mystery? And while this thread was funny, like, also the obligatory Douglas Adams reference, there were some very practical concerns with using AI that were not mentioned in this forum. AI, as we currently are using it, is not doing deductive reasoning, not applying critical thinking skills. It is mostly looking for association, cannot question the sources of its training materials. These murders occurred in 1888, and one of the most fascinating things about them is how much press coverage they received. Even if the AI training models were only trained on materials from 1888 were speculative and full of misinformation. And since 1888, a lot of the material put out about Jack the Ripper has been downright fiction or fraud. AI is subject to hallucination at the best of times. That's where it outright fabricates and lies about information that it doesn't have in order to provide a good answer that it thinks its human will like. But when the AI is trained on a controversial subject that is all over the place, such as the Jack the Ripper murders, it is highly subject to hallucination. But one way around this is you can build bespoke AI tools where you do all of the training yourself. And as user Harmonica pointed out, you could have this bespoke tool then go through all of the documents from 1888 to comb through residential records and see who was in the area at the time. And yes, that is a feasible solution to the problems that I posed. Direct the AI to something that it can do, and then also make sure that it isn't trained on, shite. And so I said, that's a great idea, but it is a huge undertaking. First off, digitization of records from 1888 has largely not been done. For example, most of Scotland Yard's files on Jack the Ripper are still just paper documents. A lot of records from 1888 have actually been destroyed by the record owners. Data storage, data collection, data retention is expensive even when it's just paper. Scotland Yard has destroyed files on Jack the Ripper because they don't appear to be useful. I think the largest practical concern is when you build your own bespoke model of AI, the oversight of it to the double checking that you would have to do to make sure that it is making correct judgments is prohibitively expensive in the programmer's time and mental health. But if you've watched my other videos, you also know that there just aren't a lot of records in 1888 in general. These murders predate fingerprints, passports, ID cards, border crossings, train passenger records, green cards, immigration standards, etc. I think in general, when somebody says AI in the same sentence as Jack the Ripper, you should probably distrust what they're saying. But the truth is that once AI becomes capable of doing deductive reasoning, when that occurs, not if, AI will be useful in this case. It's just that I don't see that being a tool that will be affordable and readily available to the public for a long time. So right now, do your own research and trust but verify.